Hello, my people, and welcome back to the Triple A-Pex Podcast. This is episode 21, and of course, I'm your usual host, 3LNEX, and we have our usual co-host here, Organic, or Javi, or Keeper. We don't know his name anymore, but we are back for another episode of the podcast, and we have, I think, quite a bit of stuff to talk about now. We're going to be talking about some Apex Legends stuff. First, we're going to mention something that's been brought up about the devs trying to find a way to bring Titans into the game at some point. Then we have a few other Apex Legends stuff to talk about, and then we'll get into the miscellaneous stuff later. But first, I kind of wanted to talk about the devs mentioning that they were trying to find ways to implement Titans into the game, and I kind of wanted to get our thoughts on about this. And yeah, so Keeper, do you want to give your thoughts on the possibility of Titans coming to the game at some point?
That sounds super interesting, 3. I think that adding Titans to the game is kind of cool.
It is very cool. Well, obviously, it's not going to be like what they did in Titanfall 2, and they still said they were trying to find ways to bring the Titans into Apex Legends, and I think we do know how they were trying to do that based on that one leak with Blisk's abilities from a while back, and I'm thinking that's how they would end up putting into the game, since it's only a non-piloted Titan that just stands there and shoots around, scanning the area. It's pretty simple, straightforward, and I don't think that's overpowered at all. So that's their best way of bringing Titans in to the game. Just having that as Blisk's ultimate ability or whatever. They could probably find some K mode where you can do that, like call in just this Sentinel Titan and then whatever. That would be really interesting. But obviously no piloted Titans or movable Titans, because that would just be completely broken. And we saw what happened with Fortnite. I think it was their 10th season when they had introduced the mechs. That shit seemed tragic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really, I don't know what to say. I think adding Titans would, I don't know, because I agree that adding movable Titans is kind of OP. Titans that you can control pretty much. You know what I mean? Be inside that motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would not be good.
But autopilot Titans, I think that would be pretty balanced, because autopilot Titans they're kind of stupid. So yeah, their AI is kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah. So basically what we saw from that Blisk leak is what should be the implementation of Titans, unless if they choose not to make that Blisk's ultimate. But I'm guessing it will, since what we saw with Ash's old ability, Phase Breacher, that stayed the same pretty much. Her entire kit pretty much stayed the same, so I doubt really much will change with Blisk's kit whenever he does come to the game, but we don't really know as of now. But I think that's pretty much all we had to talk about in terms of that. Just wanted to give our thoughts. It's pretty straightforward and simple about this implementation of Titans coming further down the road. And now we're going to be talking about a few other things that involve Apex Legends, and I think we should talk about this one first because it seemed really interesting, and that is an Octane Stim exploit that's used to reload instantly. So I think we're going to dive into this article right now by Dexerto. So what are your initial thoughts on this?
I think that's kind of overpowered. What do you think?
It's overpowered. But let's get into the article and see what we have to know about this. So one Apex Legends player has discovered a new Octane exploit that lets them use the Legend's Stim tactical ability to reload instantly, giving them an unfair advantage in combat. Apex Legends Season 11 brought plenty of new content for fans to enjoy, including the Stormpoint map and all-new Legend Dash. However, players have been discovering a few exploits. One has been discovered with the Speedster Legend Octane. A player discovered that they can use his Stim tactical to reload their weapon instantly in battle. This discovery came from a Reddit user, that one Kachawa, I think is how you pronounce that, who showcased the exploit in a new post in the Apex Legends subreddit. By using Octane's Stim ability, they were able to skip the reload animation. So to skip over the reload animation, that's what this exploit is.
Oh.
I wonder how you're able to get this. I'm guessing it's just probably a spam of the reload button, or I don't know.
Yeah, it just cancels the animation. Probably. The animation of the Stim probably just cancels out the reload animation.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Nothing with the actual Stim. I think it's just animation thing.
Okay, well, let's read further. The exploit involves using this tactical ability while simultaneously reloading the gun. So I think you're correct. Like, right when you stim, you reload. I'm guessing that's what it means. This will ensure that the bullets are instantly loaded into the chamber without having to finish the full animation. Yeah, it is an animation thing, just as we thought. That one Kachao revealed that this trick only works with a few select weapons in the game. These are the Flatline, Rampage, Hemlock, Prowler, Car, P2020, RE45, G7 Scout, Longbow, and the Sentinel. So...
Oh, what? That's like every gun.
So, literally. Everyone be careful if you see an Octane with those weapons.
Yeah.
Have caution. The Redditor then explained that the exploit only has a small effect on other weapons. On guns, I didn't show lists, some did reload slightly faster, but nothing to be noteworthy. Definitely going to be doing more testing, they wrote. While it isn't quite game-breaking, this exploit is still extremely powerful and can influence who comes out on top in a game of Apex Legends. Since it gives players an unfair advantage, we might see the developers patch it up soon. Yes, please patch that up soon.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just scary. Octanes can already be a little aggro. Well, I wouldn't say they're scary, but they're very aggressive, depending on what weapons they have. Like, that's gonna be tragic in a fight.
Alright.
And especially if it's at long range with a rampage, like that gun is really powerful.
Yeah, just insta ammo or like infinite ammo pretty much.
I'm surprised it doesn't work with the triple take. Well, I don't know if I should be surprised or not about that. Maybe we should be glad because the triple take is pretty much like one of the dominant weapons right now.
Oh yeah, the triple take is so good. That gun is insane.
That is fact.
That's scary.
Yeah, all these weapons are scary in the hands of an Octane now.
Yeah.
Absolute insanity. Now let's try to go into this next little article we have here, which is about a skin in the Battle Pass. And what this article's title is Apex Legends Season 11 Bocek Battle Pass skin is literally pay to lose, so not pay to win, how like multiple Battle Pass skins are. I'm pretty sure I know what makes this gun skin pay to lose, actually. And I've seen this in game. When I had like a ranger on my Bocek, there was the iron sight or whatever was like protruding through the scope or something like that. I don't know. But it definitely was just messed up. Okay, so let's dive into this article now. A new bug is affecting the Bocek Bow's Season 11 Battle Pass skin in Apex Legends, making it much harder to aim with. As players have worked their way through the Season 11 Battle Pass, they've noticed an issue with the new Battle Pass skin for the Bocek Compound Bow. It looks fine on its own, but with a scope attached, it actually ends up blocking a lot of the action, potentially making it harder to aim. Yep, that's exactly what I experienced.
That's such a funny term. Pay to lose.
Bocek Bow bugged in Apex Season 11 Battle Pass. When you attach a sight to this Bocek skin, instead of zooming in as it should, it instead continues to display the iron sights with the new scope attached. That's just hilarious.
Bro.
And stupid.
So stupid.
Now, this doesn't break the weapon completely, but it does look odd, especially when compared to how the weapon usually aims with a scope attached. Some players are calling this skin, which is only available through the Season 11 Battle Pass, pay to lose. But others argue that this bug actually helps you out. Okay, let's see the reason. While it does block a lot of the screen, the layout also gives you a larger field of view, allowing you to potentially track and lead enemies easier while aiming with the Bocek.
They're coping.
Of course, whether this bug is a blessing or a curse, all comes down to your personal preference. If you're not a fan, getting rid of it is really as easy as just switching to another skin rather than the Battle Pass one. If you actually enjoy this peculiar layout, then you can continue to use it, at least until Respawn gets around to fixing it, that is. Okay, that's pretty funny. I mean, yeah, like iron sights and scopes do come down to personal preference, but if it's a bug, it should really just get fixed. Because it's pretty annoying, honestly. And honestly, looking at it kind of reminds me of like the Hemlock iron sights, but with lines. Well, I think they're using the Ranger.
What skin was that?
It's the one that just came with the Battle Pass this season, the level 1.
Like the level 1?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
I'm checking it out right now on the firing range.
It doesn't really look like a legendary to me, honestly, when I first looked at it.
Yeah, it looks like a epic rare skin.
That was the same vibe I got from like the last Battle Pass skin, which was the 3031. It doesn't look like a legendary, but it is a legendary.
It's kind of lame. Oh, like that long. You remember that longbow skin? I think from season 3, right? That skin was fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
remember that skin?
Yeah, I remember that
like
one.
The devilish one.
I think it was called the Reckoner.
Awesome. Oh yeah. That's what it is.
It looks super sick, but like the iron sights are a bit chunky on it though. But it's whatever.
The whole like the aesthetic, like the lava aesthetic, looks awesome, and that skull, I love it.
Oh yeah, that skin was freaking fire.
I think that skin and the McFly are probably my top skins for a longbow.
My top skins are the reactive skins. Like that's pretty much just my top skin for all the weapons is their reactive skin because I think they do a really good job with the reactive skin.
Except for the I can see it. The on the longbow, yeah.
Or compound
bow. That's kind of stupid. Yeah, or compound bow. That's what I mean. The Bocek. I can see it. And like you can put a scope on it, and it still shows the iron sights. That's pretty stupid. Looks kind of cool, if I'm being honest.
It looks cool, but it's stupid at the same time.
Yeah.
It's one.
Oh yeah, what was that other thing that I was talking about? Oh yeah, the skin, the reactive skin that I don't like. You know, obviously the Prowler one.
Yeah,
everything else is like really good, but the Prowler skin's not that good.
The Prowler one I'd probably say is the least best out of all of them. I don't know which one would be the best out of all of them, honestly. Like I
think the best, the compound fracture. That's the best Prowler skin in my opinion.
Of
like the red one. The red one that goes with the what's it called, the Bloodhound bundle.
Oh, I think
the Bloodhound edition.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks
That's probably my
really
favorite
cool.
one.
That one was my go-to for a while, I think. The best reactive skin, though?
I gotta say this.
I don't know which one it would be.
This Bocek bow, like, this little thing is kind of cool. It's not that bad. Even though, there's a lot of clutter.
True. Yeah. Maybe to the YouTube audience, maybe give us your thoughts about the Bocek bow's glitched skin right now. Do you like how it has this iron sight bug, or is it really annoying to you and you don't want it, or do you have a love-hate relationship with it? But anyways...
Man, I need to start playing Apex more often. Like, I just stopped playing. Bro, I haven't played video games forever. Like, I stopped playing video games for, like, 3 whole weeks.
The last time I played Apex was last week, and I haven't played it this weekend because busy stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, for real. I think about getting my driver's permit, but I don't really know about getting that. Like, I already took all my classes. I just need to retake my test.
When I have a driver's license.
What do you think I should do,
though? I'd probably suggest, if you really want to try to drive, or be able to drive, then go for getting a permit, honestly. Or, well, if you already have a permit, then work towards getting your license and take the driving test.
Yeah, I already took, like, the classes, right? You have to take, like, 3 weeks of classes every day. And I already took those, right? And I had the test, like, I took the written part of the test. The first 2 tests I got, I think I got, like, an 80 and a 90 something. And then on the last written test, which is pretty much like final exam for driving school or whatever, before you can get your permit, I like flunked out. I think I got like a 69.
Oh jeez.
69. But
69.
But yeah, I'm trying to get that, retake it, but I don't really know how about going that. I feel like I should have done that a long time ago. It's my bad though.
Yeah, that's a damn moment. But anyways, I think we should probably get back on topic with our Apex stuff. Yeah. Driving is interesting, to say the least. My school parking lot's
scary.
My school parking lot's a bitch, though. Like, jeez. Alright. Now we have a new article that's Apex Legends related, and this one really interested me. And it's really weird. And it's called Apex Legends Players Really Want Respawn to Bring Back One Random World's Edge Rock.
What? Rock? Why a rock? That's so weird.
I don't know, but let's take a look at it. Let's dive right in. Apex Legends players are up in arms after Respawn finally removed a random glitched rock that has been floating on World's Edge since the map's last big update, with some now begging the devs to bring it back next patch. Okay, this seems interesting.
I don't understand. Like, what rock are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't know either. In Season 11's update, the Apex Legends devs made what seemed a relatively harmless change to one of their Battle Royale maps. They removed the random rock floating in midair in World's Edge. I don't think I've never seen this rock. I don't think I've either.
What?
The change buried among the patch's numerous bug and glitch fixes has gone down like a lead balloon. One disappointed player, Swaglinaz, even made a hilarious memorial video for the floating World's Edge debris to the tune of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Rip the random rock floating in World's Edge, they said. Players, mainly Pathfinder mains, have called for Respawn to re-add the infamous rock, jokingly calling the season unplayable unless it's returned soon. So this is all a joke, I'm assuming, to return the rock. Unless if there are people that actually, like, legitimately want it back. But let's continue.
Wait, was this article made by Dexerto?
Yeah, it's a Dexerto article.
And they said that he pretty much made a memorial with Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yes.
Did he just rickroll them?
I don't know.
He rickrolled Dexerto.
Damn. That's gotta be tough.
I think that was his goal the entire time.
To rickroll Dexerto.
For real.
Unless he rickrolled everybody else.
Unless he just really liked that song.
It's a pretty good song. So. I'm trying to skim through it. Or whatever. Yeah, I don't know about this one, but it's interesting. I'm guessing it's a joke that's floating around, no pun intended, around, and people just like this rock. I don't know, but that's very interesting how we came across this. And I don't really think there's much to comment on it. Like, it's a floating rock that was glitched.
Like, what are you going to say about it? Like, this is kind of stupid.
There isn't much to talk about in terms of that. Like, it's a glitch.
It's a rock. Like, what? What do you want to say? Like, it's a rock.
Nobody knows. But anyways, like, that's their Apex Legends stuff for now. And now we're going to be getting into some miscellaneous stuff. And there was actually one I just came across that is interesting to say the least, and I'm kind of shocked by this article, and that is Battlefield 2042 is a total disaster and gamers are not happy. And this is a Forbes article. So I've already kind of read over this a little bit. So let's start off with this paragraph right here. In that short time, the game has managed to make almost everyone unhappy, except some top Battlefield influencers who seem to have remained oddly quiet about the game's host of problems. How are you feeling about this so far? Because I haven't really heard like a crap ton about like Battlefield stuff lately. And I didn't
I thought launch was... Wait, the game's already been launched, right?
It's been out for some time now.
Yeah, so I didn't think anything happened wrong with it. Like, what's wrong with it? I thought it went well. Pretty fine.
Well, we're going to be getting into this list of issues that was actually posted by a Reddit user. So we're going to try to get into it, but all this stuff is coming from only one person, so I don't know if, like, this is only, like, this particular person that has an issue with all this stuff, or if this is an issue that multiple other people are having, and they're just bringing up the issue. So here's a little bit of an overview of kind of, like, what's going to be talked about. So the problems gamers are having with BF 2042 are manifold and widespread. These include annoyance with the game's cheesy voice lines, dissatisfaction with map design and map variety, frustration with bad bullet spread that makes accurate shooting incredibly difficult, and a lack of game modes. Other complaints include a lack of guns compared to past releases and missing features like thermal scope, squad voice chat, lackluster scoring systems, and what many are seeing as a weak array of vehicle options. And I'm now looking at the list, and this is quite a lot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read through all this, but one of them is no single-player story campaign mode, no standard server browser, few standardized game modes, fewer base game maps than any other title. And they do mention it's only like 1 to 3. No persistent lobbies. And he mentions, seriously, why do I have to matchmake after every round? Fewer in-game assignments, none outside of cosmetic unlocks. No class system, less character customization options. No profile progress stats page in the menu. No battle log stats tracker for other players. No global leaderboards. And so I'm guessing all this stuff was like stuff they've introduced in past Battlefield games and that weren't introduced in this version. Oh my god, my phone is glitching out right now.
I think it's because it was just released.
Oh my god, the art... My phone is glitching out right now. Yeah, a lot of this stuff... There's no explosion knockback. That's an interesting one. No high wall vaulting. No crouch sprinting. There was crouch sprinting?
What does that even mean? Like,
that's...
You're crouching. I don't think that should be in the game to begin with.
Yeah. Like, I don't think any other games have crouch sprinting, but that's interesting. I didn't know Battlefield had that type of option. And so, of course...
I didn't even know it had all this stuff in it. And not only that, but like, you know, on the list where they're talking about the single player campaign, I don't even think anybody cares about that. Because people don't play Battlefield for the
except
campaign.
For like the lore people, of course. Like, I think anyone who's like invested in lore would want to play campaign or single player.
No, the only type of lore that I would understand is Call of Duty Zombies lore. Yeah. And, you know, the actual campaign of Call of Duty. I don't think anybody cares about Battlefield lore.
Yeah, but there is people out there that I think would be into that lore or whatever.
Like five people.
Or a little more, we don't know. But they once again they mentioned the stuff about fewer vehicle types, no naval vehicles except for hovercraft, no small transports, no vehicle. Wait, I thought there were small transports in Battlefield from what I saw. Unless if I'm just bugging out right now because I've seen gameplay of 2042.
I have no idea. I mean, I've barely seen any gameplay. Like, I've only seen the trailer. I've only seen the official gameplay from the trailer. I've only seen I've seen one video, and it wasn't even that much, because I don't even play Battlefield that much. I play the story campaign, like 5 years ago. Not 5 years ago, but 3 years ago, I think. Yeah.
And then here's some other stuff that says no control input while looking behind free looking in aircraft. No joystick non-generic gamepad support. That's interesting. If that's what I think it is, then I could definitely see why that would be a little weird or whatever. And then there's stuff about scoring systems. So it says no squad wipe scoring, no player damage points, no vehicle damage points, no vehicle kill assist points, no headshot bonus, no long range kill bonus, no assist counts as kill bonus, no multi-kill bonus, no kill streak stopped bonus, no comeback bonus, and no squad objective play bonus.
My guy is upset. He's mad.
Yeah,
he really doesn't like this game.
Yeah, because this is a whole lot of stuff. This reminds me of a sub-note that was left in my intermediate composition class by a sub. Just long as hell. And there wasn't even that much stuff wrong. Oversimplified team play scoring. Okay, that i.e. healing a teammate always gives you a flat 5 XP rather than being based on how much you heal them. Squad and teamwork, no commander, no special squad call-in abilities, no squad field upgrades, no in-game VoIP, but apparently that's coming soon. Fewer factions, no cross-team chat. I don't know how to feel about no cross-team chat, honestly. I think that it doesn't really matter much.
Pretty cool. I think that sounds kind of cool. I mean, I've never played Battlefield. I wanted to, but I never got the chance to play it. But
there's a
cross-team. I think that sounds awesome.
Cross-team and chat, I'm pretty sure is just the general voice chat that it doesn't matter which team you're on, you can still voice chat. They have that in Titanfall 2, and they also have that in Overwatch. I don't really mind that.
That in Call of Duty, don't they? In Call of Duty 2?
I don't know, but I don't really mind it that much. And there's also a no create new squad option, no clans or platoons, no view of squad mates while in the spawn screen, no medic incoming indicator in downstate, no rank names, icons, just a number. And then there's stuff about the maps. Fewer base maps, I don't think I want to go too much into this, but it says poor...
You're already into it.
Yeah.
You're already way into it.
It says no, poor spawn points, constantly spawning in the open, visible to enemies. I can see that being a problem, honestly, and I think I have seen someone complain about that before. That wasn't this person. So yeah. It also mentions fewer urban areas, no naval maps, fewer destructible buildings, lack of persistent servers or whatever, and whatever. Now let's get into the UI and quality of life stuff. Less control customization options, no HUD scaling customization options or whatever. My gosh, this is a whole lot. Then there's stuff about audio. I don't think I'm gonna try to go into this anymore.
Yeah, just stop while you can.
This is
you don't want to get dragged in any further.
This is just a whole lot to take in. It seems like Battlefield might have some issues, but I can't 100% confirm if it's making the game not as good as people would have thought. Because honestly, it looked pretty solid from what I've seen, so I'm not too worried. But, yeah. If this is only one person's problem with the game, then it's only their problem. And, I don't know. I'd probably have to hear feedback from, like, a lot of other people who have tried the game, honestly, to know, like, if it's good or not.
So, I wonder who made that. Like, wait, who is this article by? Zerto?
No, this is a Forbes article. I'm gonna try to find who exactly made the Reddit. Okay, so the Reddit user who made this who made the list was Jelly Swim. Who?
Do you think that this person is? Do you think this person wrote the Forbes article?
I don't think it. I don't think it's. Did that? I don't think that they were the one that wrote the article. I think it was someone else. Let me see if... I think it was Eric Kane who wrote the article.
Eric Kane is jelly.
Well, I doubt that, but... I don't know.
I mean, that would make sense. Like, think about it. Eric Kane really likes Battlefield, but he just doesn't like this game. So he's trying to use Forbes as...
Well, he's someone who writes about video games, entertainment, and culture, so I don't know.
I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah. Alright. So now we're going to move on from all that stuff, which was a lot to take in. But now I have another article that I wanted to kind of look into. And this one really struck me when I first seen it. And it's about a Pennsylvania gas station briefly closed after the only person working walked off the job, leaving a note saying that customers treat our employees horribly. So what's your first impression of this article right now?
Where is this? Like,
this is a Yahoo News article.
I mean, a gas station briefly closed it. Okay.
Let's try to get into a...
Oh, this is the customers, right?
Yeah, the customers were... They mentioned it was a negative experience, but that the complaint was inaccurate. Well, let's dive into this article. Let's hope it's not extremely long. So a gas station in Pennsylvania briefly closed this week after its only employee at the time walked off the job. So they only had one employee, I'm guessing? I don't know. The Get-Go convenience store in Moon Township, roughly 15 miles west of Pittsburgh, was unstaffed for about an hour on Tuesday morning, the local CBS station KDKA reported. The worker walked off at about 6 a.m., leaving a note that said, "Closed because the people of Moon Township treat our employees horribly," and ran off the staff. A Get-Go spokesperson, Jim Sweeney, told KDKA the store was closed after a team member, the sole team member working in the Get-Go at the time, had a negative experience with a guest. During the brief closure, the team member involved posted a handwritten sign in a store window making inaccurate claims about treatment by guests. So what I'm already taking in from this is that because of one guest, this person walked out. Is that what I'm...
Wait, one guest? Or like one person?
That's what it seems like. Because it says had a negative experience with a guest. And they say it was an inaccurate statement talking about treatment by guests. But anyways, let's try to go further into this. A statement to Pittsburgh City paper, Get-Go, said, "This regrettable sign in no way reflects the appreciation of our company and dedicated Moon Township store team have for those we serve. The team member remains with the company, and we are working with her to learn as much as possible about the situation and to offer any support needed," another Get-Go spokesperson, Dan Donovan, told Insider. The incident points to a larger pattern of workers getting fed up with issues like low wages and rude customers and leaving their jobs. A record 4.4 million Americans quit their jobs in September, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said last week. with leisure and hospitality workers quitting at more than twice the average national rate. Then there's also there's an original article on Business Insider, but I don't think we need to talk about this anymore. So it seems like a lot more lately people have for sure been getting more fed up with like rude customers or whatever. But seeing from what this says, it only seemed like one person was the nail in the coffin and not like multiple other things, but I don't know like what goes on in this person's life or whatever. So I can't reach any sort of conclusion. What are your other thoughts on this?
I mean, if you think about it and you take it like from a standpoint of like a wide standpoint, I guess, like the bigger picture, I see this happening all the time. Like people, like customers treating employees like trash. Like that's pretty much where the whole Karen stereotype white woman thing came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like another thing is that like I guess like students, since I'm in high school, and I'm pretty sure you would understand too. Like my friends like work in these fast food establishments, and they say like they're like this kind of sucks. Like they tell me it kind of sucks. Like they have to deal with all these weirdos, and they have to deal with like their managers who are like kind of annoying, and then they don't get paid that much.
Yeah.
And it just kind of sucks working in like like, and they're just kids too, so it's like even more annoying.
It doesn't exactly mention if the person or if the worker was a younger person or like a teen or not, but yeah.
If they're like a grown adult and they're working at a gas station, they probably should get their stuff together. But yeah,
I guess
I can only assume it's a teen.
Yeah.
Or someone probably like 20 years old.
And someone who's probably having a lot of like stress at some point. Like, yeah, school is freaking stressful, and if this person's like having a lot of schoolwork on top of like a job, like yeah, that's gonna make you reactive to like any like sort of rudeness or any like sort of
they're probably just
bad behavior.
Yeah. Like, yeah, who knows what happens in that person's life? They could have been having a terrible day.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know what goes on in what's the town again? Moon Township. So I don't know what goes on in Moon Township, Pennsylvania. So I can't speak for the people. All right, what was it you're saying?
Oh yeah, like I think this is happening in a lot of places. Like not just that one spot. I guess it's happening. This is happening all over the world. True. Not all over the world, but like all across America, pretty much. Like more and more people have been fed up with their jobs.
I don't see it too often where I see like people being rude to customers or whatever, but yeah, that just sucks, honestly. And people gotta be more respectful in job settings.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, because most of these people are just like kids, and I think it's messed up how these kids are. Like they're put in places like they have to work in fast food where they deal with these weirdos every day. Like, because if you think about it, like they're up, I don't know, like they're up till like in the morning. Like some of them, like gas station workers, they have to work up till like 2 a.m. in the morning or later than that, and they have to deal with all these hippies, these weird drug addict type of homeless people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and it's kind of dangerous. Like, in a way, it's kind of sad, but because they're just kids, and it can be kind of dangerous sometimes. I mean, depending on where you live, but yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
but it happens.
It does. And this is where we come in and say, treat people with kindness, because
yes, sir,
people have rough lives sometimes, and we should all have respect for each other as people of the planet Earth.
Being kind is cool. Being rude, you deserve to die. Yeah.
Oh my, that turned really dark there. But speaking of dark,
but listen,
what?
Like, bruh. Okay. Okay.
I was making the way for a good entrance there.
Okay, yeah. Just be a kind person. Yes. All right, go on.
All right. So speaking of dark, this is something that I came across some time ago, and I wanted to talk about it because I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of like fantasy or science fiction type books, and these are 4 new young adult fantasy novels full of dark, enchanting twists. So these are fantasy books. And in case of you are a bookworm, here are a few suggestions that you may be interested in. So there's one called Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucier, Beasts of Prey by Iona Gray, Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen, and Gilded by Marissa Meyer. And there's even one other in here that I think wasn't mentioned in those 4. But, oh my gosh, my phone is like is on drugs today. I don't know. But first, let's read the description of Year of the Reaper. So this seems interesting. A world recovering from a deadly plague, a country grappling with the aftershocks of a long war, a young man struggling to reintegrate into society after being isolated from his friends and family. It may not have been written as a novel about our pandemic, but Makia Lucier's Year of the Reaper does ring a few bells. That's really interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily what you'd want to be reading during a time of a global pandemic, but that does seem interesting. And there's like... we have a whole big synopsis here. I don't know if we want to go into it or not, but I think I'll try to read part of it. But as knowing me, I'll probably read all of it. So, okay. Cass, an 18-year-old nobleman from the city of Palmerin, has just emerged from prison, captured at the tail end of a century-long war between his homeland and a neighboring kingdom. He's subjected to torture and a case of the plague before being released to make his way home. Okay, what?
Wait, what? I'm confused. Wait. What?
Okay. What did I just... Oh, let me really reread that sentence. He is subjected to torture and a case of the plague before being released to make his way home. He's coming from prison.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, continuing this sentence. Haunted by nightmares and struggling to reconcile the horrors of his past with the new reality of his present. Oh, and he can now talk to ghosts. A skill whose origins are frustratingly never fully explained. I mean, psychic powers like that can never be explained, can they? Unless... I don't know. Okay, continuing. He arrives to find a city fractured by tragedy and a nation struggling to maintain a fragile peace. When an assassin makes an attempt on the life of the crown prince, who is only an infant, Cass swoops in to save the day. But soon other members of the court start turning up dead, marked by strange gold coins and trailing whispers of a white-haired killer. Concerned, Cass teams up with Lena, a headstrong historian and erstwhile horse thief, to figure out who is killing off members of the royal household, and more important, why. And it's said to be a refreshing standalone novel in a sea of fantasy series, and Lucier does a good job pacing its central whodunit up until the frantic conclusion. Man, so it's kind of a fantasy murder mystery thing about a royal family. That's interesting.
Okay.
Now let's get into the next book, or the next fantasy novel, which is called Beasts of Prey by Iona Gray. In Iona Gray's debut novel, so this is a debut novel, Beasts of Prey, his history has been dictated by the survivors. 100 years before the book begins, the city of Lacasa, I don't know how to pronounce that, hummed with magic. But its peace was shattered by the rupture, a tragic event that severed the connection between the Splendor, as the magic was called, and the Darahas, the people who wielded it. The calamity also birthed the Shaitani, a monstrous creature that has terrorized the city ever since. And then there's a big synopsis here about the story. So I don't think I'm gonna go through all of it because we don't really have much time. But it does seem really interesting, like a killer monster, like awakening from its slumber, ready to destroy a city. I don't know, but that does sound really interesting. Now let's read over the next one, which is called Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. Oh, this is a pretty long synopsis thing. So when Natasha Bowen was a child, her favorite book was Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid. But while she loved the tale, she never saw herself in it. Now in her debut novel, Skin of the Sea, she blends elements of Andersen's original story with West African history and Yoruban mythology to create a new fairy tale. That seems really interesting. Bowen's mermaid, named Simidele, I think that's how you pronounce it, is a Mamiwata, a water spirit created by the goddess Yamoha.
Oh.
So it's a bunch of mythology stuff. The novel takes place in mid-1400s during the beginnings of the Atlantic slave trade, and Simi and her sisters are charged with collecting the souls of those lost to the horrors of the Middle Passage and shepherding them home.
Damn. That got dark really quickly.
Yeah. It's connecting, like, history and, like,
history,
mythology and stuff. Seems really interesting.
That's pretty cool.
But when Simi saves the life of a drowning boy instead of waiting for his soul, she puts the Mamiwata's existence in jeopardy. Her only hope is to team up with Kola, the boy she rescued, for an Odyssean quest to return him to his home, to rescue his family, and to save her sisters. Bowen has built an impressive mythology to buttress her fairy tale, and it's a pleasure to discover this world through Simi's eyes. Even if the plot does at times get bogged down in description, this historical reimagining doesn't erase the grotesque realities of the period or the devastation and wrought in West Africa and beyond. But it does honor the bravery, ingenuity, I'm not on point with words, and heart of the many bright young women whose stories haven't been told. So that's really interesting. So if you want to see something that connects history and fantasy, mythology, whatever, then you might be interested in reading that book. Especially when it brings up, like, a massive moment in history that's really worth talking about, honestly.
Yeah, very sad, depressing point in history.
Yeah, that was not good by any means. And now...
Yeah, do not trade slaves.
Yeah, don't do that. Or you will get thrown in prison for the rest of your life. And will get bullied and tortured. And potentially
and you'll
canceled.
Probably get the death sentence. Yeah, you will get canceled online. If you do slaves.
You will be shunned from pretty much everyone.
Yeah, even your mom, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your mom is supposed to love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you.
Okay. Well, now moving on, we have the last one we're going to look over, which is called Gilded by Marissa Meyer. When it comes to reimagined fairy tales, the reigning queen of the genre is Marissa Meyer, who puts her spin on the German classic Rumpelstiltskin in her latest novel, Gilded. So it's based off of Rumpelstiltskin. Interesting. In the original Brothers Grimm tale, a trickster imp spins straw into gold for a young woman held captive by a tyrannical king after her father boasts about his daughter's non-existent powers. A series of quid pro quos culminates in her promising the creature her firstborn child, but she ultimately escapes the bargain by correctly guessing Rumpelstiltskin's name. In Meyer's telling, the girl known in the original as the Miller's daughter finally gets her own name and the power that comes with it. Serilda is a storyteller marked by the god of fate, whose magic lies in the tales she weaves. And in this story, the gold spinning lie is her own, a tale spun to save two magical maidens from the Erl King. Imprisoned in the Undead King's dungeon, Serilda meets Gild, the castle's resident poltergeist, a charming, earnest young man with the power to help her, and a void of a past that she must work to fill in before time runs out. This seems interesting. This dark, enchanting book is Meyer at the height of her powers, crafting a new tale with an old-school feel where nobody is guaranteed a happily ever after. Meyer's world has lost none of the brutality of the Grimm original, and its violence can be jarring. But Serilda's tale is also a story about how love can blossom even amid carnage and grief. It is fresh and utterly engrossing, with also familiar, just what Meyer does best. One hopes we won't have to wait... What the hell, WinZip?
What?
Sorry. WinZip ad just popped right in front of my screen. Anyways, what was I saying? One hopes we won't have to wait too long for her to return to Serilda and Gild and spin their next chapter. That's some interesting stuff. So, if there's any bookworms here watching this episode that need something to read, those are 4 books for you. They all seem really interesting, especially
especially Mermaid one.
Yeah, Skin of the Sea. That one was especially interesting. I think I might try to find that book at some point. And Beasts of Prey. Like, honestly, both of those seem really intriguing to me. I'm really into, like, monster stories or whatever, so, like, Beasts of Prey really catches my eye. But Skin of the Sea also, like we said earlier, highlights a big point in history, so that would also be something worth reading. Maybe we'll try to find it sometime, see if they're at Barnes and Noble or whatever.
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. Normal Peace Prize. All right. Yep. I think that's all of the articles we have today. We went over quite a bit, and this was really fun and really interesting, surprisingly. Yeah. Like, we talked about... The first thing we talked about wasn't really an article. We talked about, like, the mention of the devs trying to implement Titans into Apex. We talked about the Octane Stim exploit for reloading instantly, the Season 11 Bocek Battle Pass skin that's pay to lose, a rock that floats in midair on World's Edge that is now gone, which is sad. Yep. We talked about the problems with Battlefield 2042, or what the apparent problems are. I don't know. We also talked about the worker walking out of the Pennsylvania gas station due to a terrible customer, and we checked out some 4 young adult fantasy novels full of dark, enchanting twists. And this was a really interesting episode, honestly. And we did go for a pretty long time, but sadly we are going to have to end the episode soon, as we have places to be, and yeah. So that's going to be all for episode number 21 of the Triple A-Pex Podcast. To the YouTube audience, thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to give it a like, and if you're brand new here to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell icon so you can get notified for whenever I upload a new video. That will also be really helpful for whenever a new podcast episode is uploaded. Also, be sure to join the Discord server. The link will be in the description below, and also, the Discord server is where we do the podcast live from on every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, although we had to do it early because of a conflict or whatever. So if you want to listen to the podcast live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays, then be sure to join the Discord server. And maybe you can help us get an audience for once. We haven't had an audience in a few episodes now. And it's really fun when we actually have an audience here to talk about.
Because there's a lot more user interaction.
Yeah.
And a lot more fan interaction. And it would be awesome to have like someone here with us, listening to us, asking us questions, communicating with us.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot more content for us to talk about, and it makes us feel better. You know what I mean? Like, we have a good time.
It really makes it really fun, really cool. So, if you can, then be sure to tune into the podcast if you are in the Discord server at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays.
Yeah, please.
And also, I have a Gilded server too, so if you have Gilded and are looking for any servers to join on there, I'll leave a link to that in the description for you as well. Also, be sure to follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/3LNEX, and be sure to follow my Instagram at 3LNEX.gg. And do you want to plug in your socials as well, Keeper?
Follow me on Instagram as known as Castle, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Go follow him at known as Castle on Instagram. And anyways, that's going to be all for episode number 21 of the Triple A-Pex Podcast. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Alrighty.